Hi, welcome to the energy update for March 2021. I'm Lee, I'm an intuitive, and every month I take the pulse on what's showing up energetically, psychologically, emotionally in the collective. A few of the themes for this month are new levels of purpose and peace showing up in more of us at this point in time. There is a power rise in people that is beginning to surface in evident ways. Innovation, creation, and feeling like you are through the shell shock of this past year. How to multiply your heart energy in your life and on earth. And last but no means least, how is your body doing right now, and the importance of keeping a check on that at times like this. Stay tuned for the full update. Welcome to the energy update for March, and first things first, for those of you who are in a really rough spot right now, perhaps you've been there for a while, perhaps it's the fatigue of everything that we've been through for this past year. Number one, sending you some love, but more importantly, encouraging you to get the support that you might need. You know, one of the themes for this month is that exhaustion and fatigue are very real things, and sometimes because of our conditioning, we can try and push against them, work over them, work around them, try and avoid them. And it's really important, if the exhaustion or fatigue of what we've been through this past year is hitting you right now, or has been lately, to really serve it and to honor your body's needs, your mind's needs, and the needs of your energy field, which is probably calling out for some replenishment and a reset. So especially if you're in tough circumstances, perhaps you're living alone or you've got major responsibilities, it's going to be really important for you to try and find small ways to bring support into your life, either through people that you reach out to or through help that you find. And whatever that will look like for you will be very personal and unique, but you might really need to fill up. And the reason I'm starting the update with that message is because we're actually about to go into what you might call a lighter or brighter phase, certainly for this next 3 or 4 months, particularly since we began 2021. January, February, there's still more of a movement around purging, releasing. And now we, particularly from the middle of March onwards, start to see a rise in power. Power can mean many different things, and yes, we are still in an ongoing conversation as a people about power, control, and freedom on our planet, in our lives, within the systems that we have, and that's going to be a messy and difficult conversation for some years, but that's very much the focus of where we're at right now, and it's a big part of our transformation into a higher level of consciousness. But it's not an easy journey. That said, it's really important for those of you who are feeling more peaceful and more purposeful than you perhaps ever have in your life, to not be ashamed of that and to not feel that you shouldn't celebrate that and be in that, because there are more and more people now who are waking up to their new level of purpose. Perhaps you had to go through the last couple of years where you were stripping things away, letting go of the old, or in a deep awakening that didn't really make sense. You know, awakening is like that. It can knock you off your feet, it can give you scattered thoughts, it can make you feel inactive. But when you come through it and you're rearranged from the inside, you get to a point where as a human being, you get to reenact in your life. You get to bring more of your soul back into your humanity, which is really what awakening asks us to do. It asks us to live at a higher level of consciousness, whatever that looks like for you. And we're all here as a tribe. So one person's going to take care of higher consciousness when it comes to nature, and another person's going to take care of higher consciousness when it comes to systems or government. And what we're doing right now is more and more people are becoming more activated, more awake on the planet. Again, still doesn't mean you wake up, open the curtains, or see what's going on in the world and feel okay about everything that you're seeing that's heartbreaking or difficult. But it's very important for those of you who are feeling more purposeful and peaceful. This was a really strong message I got to feel okay about that. You know, I've channeled for 23 years now, and 22 years, and the Z's who I channel, my guides, they said a long time ago that this transformation period of history, 2017 to 2024, more people were going to feel not necessarily good about what was happening in the world, but more like they understood why they were here now, and they understood what they were here to do, and they would find a way to bring their role, both energetically and in form, in practical terms, into a more useful way of being on the planet. And that's happening for more and more people. So it's always a tricky one when there are people either close to you or that you can see in the world who are struggling. And that can really raise the empathy. It can make you feel sad or connected to those people. But it's also really important to recognize that you being peaceful and you being purposeful is exactly the change that the planet and we as a people need right now. So no shame about that. You're really needed, especially those of you that are feeling that way right now. And if you're listening to this thinking, oh, I couldn't feel less peaceful or purposeful, your time will come, but it will require you giving yourself to this process that you're in right now, where you're shedding, letting go of a lot of the stuff that has held us together as a people. We've been conditioned a certain way for a very long time, and we've been living in a very old way in terms of our consciousness as human beings. And for all of us, no matter how advanced you are or how educated you are about consciousness, this is a rocky road. It's edgy and it's painful at times, and there's things that you're releasing, but most of you will find that the more you do it, the faster it gets. So you just get more used to waking up in the morning feeling great, and then maybe by 11 a.m. you've got some weird thing moving through your system, but by noon it's moved, or you have done certain things to support yourself that have allowed it to move faster. That leads me to the next theme, which is unconscious reactivity and triggers in you or in others. How are you dealing with it? And remember, it's very contagious. So what I mean by unconscious reactivity and triggers, it's when somebody feels an emotion, any of us feel an emotion that then overrides our ability to be present with another person, or perhaps we feel angry about something because we're triggered. Something someone says or does has triggered an emotional reaction in us. And what we want to do is then hurl that emotion at them, throw it at them, vomit it on them, blame them for how we're feeling by sending a cannonball their way. Now, most of you probably aren't doing this in your life. I'm sure there might be moments, because it's definitely emotionally edgy at the moment and very electric. Perhaps you're getting caught up in how contagious that energy is. Perhaps some people around you are behaving in that way, and you're beginning to realize, man, I never feel good when I hang out with these people for too long. And it just might be that where they're at right now, they're purging stuff out, and they haven't yet brought it to consciousness. They haven't yet gone, oh, I'm really angry right now. Maybe I shouldn't have that conversation. Maybe I shouldn't send that email. Maybe I should just sit with myself and let these emotions move through me so that I can then have a conversation that is a little more connective, communicative, solution-oriented. It's okay. It's going round. These unconscious reactivity trigger moments are part of the healing and purging. But you're not going to be able to hang around that kind of energy for very long, particularly with somebody who refuses to go beyond the unconsciousness. If they're not willing to have a conversation with you, if you notice they're triggered, about their trigger or about what they might want to do to support their trigger, it's going to be very difficult for you to stick around. So this is where boundaries come in. Boundaries is going to be a big theme. I mean, it's been a big theme for a long time, but it's definitely a big theme right now, because we are all at slightly different places in how we feel about things, what we believe, but fighting or going to war with each other about that is basically recycling the old. It's old energy. If you want to go to war with somebody right now, it's just old energy, and it's not going to help us build a foundation for the future. So be mindful of that. And if you're feeling kind of on the PTSD side of that because you've been having it coming at you from other people, make some decisions about the boundaries you might need in those relationships, with those groups, and notice how it makes you feel, because that energy is contagious. So we have to shake it off if it comes for us. And you know, my philosophy is we don't engage in anything that isn't on some level useful to us. And sure, we can go through some really painful stuff in our life that you wouldn't wish on other people. But usually when you come through it and you start to approach the healing of it, however far you get with the healing of it, you start to see that within the pain of it or within the difficulty of it, there were also really useful lessons that will make you behave differently in the future or make you sense differently in the future. So the unconscious reactivity and triggers have their place, but you might not want them in your face. And that's where boundaries might have to come in. And that will show up a little bit in March, but especially through the next few months. And it's been going around already, so you're probably not immune to what I'm talking about. The other thing just to bring up, and I've talked about this a lot over the last year, you know, we're still in this power phase where freedom and control in the outside world and in us are a big part of those triggers. And so for any of us to be useful around creating a more evolved and aligned freedom on the planet, we're going to have to move beyond the triggers, move beyond the blame game, the shame game, the war game. And it all comes from fear, which, as we know, has been pumped out in a big way in the last year. You know, the levels of fear have been pumped very well in the last year. So we have to be careful of that. We have to not ingest too much of it, notice what it's doing to other people, help others where you can, but at the same time, stay sovereign in your own center and decide what's right for you. That's really important. We are a tribe and we are a hive and we are all living together, but our uniqueness is vital in any part of our life, whether it's our closest intimate relationship or whether it's the job that we're doing. Our uniqueness must not be given away for the sake of pleasing others, abating others. That will always backfire. So just bear that in mind as we go through this power phase around freedom and control, and pay attention to, oh, that's interesting, that's triggering me, or this is moving through me. Freedom and control are going to be ongoing themes for the next couple of years. In slightly lighter term, multiplying heart energy was one of the messages I got from them upstairs, and they talked about where can we give it, where can we seek it, and where is it unwelcome. So multiplying heart energy, using your heart to be kind to other people, to do an action for another person that's going to help them or that they tell you they need help with. It shows up in different ways. You know, not everybody is the squishy heart energy, lovey-dovey, let me cuddle you kind of heart energy. Heart energy, when it's aligned with purpose, is very powerful. People who have merged their, what I would call divine intelligence and their heart, they do incredible actions in the world that can affect an enormous amount of people. But it starts with one. You know, you affect one person and the ripple effect will take care of the rest. So multiplying heart energy, where can you give it this month? Where can you seek it? Especially if you're one of those people I spoke about at the beginning who are depleted. You know, you're feeling exhausted, fatigued. You might need to seek heart energy this month or any month in order to get your own back. We're not always able to give it when we're depleted. We have to then restore and refill. So where can you give it? Where can you seek it? And most importantly, are you noticing where it is unwelcome? Many years ago, one of the channels that I did, they talked about this term of being a love terrorist. You know, someone who is running out there inflicting love on people who really don't want it. Like, they'll tell you they don't want it. And there are all kinds of reasons why we might not want love from someone else. It might not feel like quite the right fit with that person, or we may not yet be used to that level of love. And so it can actually be destabilizing or overwhelming to us in a way that we can't then support in our daily life when we move on. So, you know, you don't want to be a love terrorist, but equally paying attention to how people are receiving you is very important. because then you're in relationship. You're not just in your own head thinking, oh, I'm just going to be loving to this person. Why does she keep telling me to leave her house and crying? Because she's telling you you're not quite the right fit. So knowing where heart energy is welcome in both directions, knowing where you can give it and it's welcome, and knowing where you can seek it and people are happy to give it. And this is a place where there is plentiful source. Multiplying heart energy is very important in the collective right now. So if you're identifying with this theme, try and keep that balance of when am I giving, when do I need to seek, and am I noticing where it's unwelcome? And am I trusting when it's unwelcome and letting that person be and then taking my heart energy somewhere else? Or does it trigger abandonment? Oh, they didn't want me, they didn't love me. That happens to us too. So again, these triggers, this healing that's kind of moving through us, more of us will be noticing those things in a much more subtle and finer way than ever before, especially because it's happening faster and in a more multi-dimensional way. It's no longer quite as linear or quite as one-dimensional. Okay, let me find okay, here we go. How is your body doing? So I have a monthly members community called The Portal, and this month I ended our monthly broadcast with a 30-minute channel message. And the first thing that my guides asked all of us was, how is your body doing? I invite you to ask your body that question right now. Just say to yourself, body, how are you doing? And see if you hear anything. Now, based on that answer, what are you going to do about it? So the answer might be surprising. Like, you might think you're fine and your body goes tired. And then you're like, oh, I've kind of not noticed. So what the Z's, my guides, were talking about, they said that, our bodies are going through all of this stuff. Now, unless you're a very body-focused person, and I know there are many sensitives and empaths who, for all kinds of good reasons, left their body at one point, or because of trauma, have never quite fully returned to their body. They were saying you can't just drag your body around behind you and expect it to keep up with everything that's going on the planet. You have to be a guardian for it and look after it. So asking your body how it's doing on a regular basis, and then based on what you hear, responding accordingly. Maybe you'll be surprised and your body will say, I'm good. And then you're like, great. But maybe your body will be asking for something that you haven't really been paying attention to. And this is our conditioning. Very few of us were asked to have a deep relationship with our body. So this is a sea change on the planet. The more you can look after this amazing body of yours, whatever we might be programmed to think about it or be disappointed about it, all that stuff that kind of is an illusion, our bodies are beautiful and they do this incredible thing for us. They help us be here as a soul on the earth. So ask your body how it's doing, and then from that, see if you can lovingly parent your body, give your body what it needs. And you can do this every day, just check in, and it will give you a deeper connection to your body. And what my guides were saying is, this embodiment is where the changes need to be made. The more embodied we are, the more we will bring consciousness and higher energies out into the world, just as we are dropping what you might call the lower energies or the heavy stuff that we're processing. And that's part of it too. That's part of being human and evolving human. So check in with your body. And the final, I'm just checking, is this the final? I'm having to go down my list. Yes. The final theme for this month is allow the magic and the innovation of these times into your life by tending to your self-care and seeking high vibrations. So allow the magic and the innovation of these times, the creativity, the newness, because there's a lot of that in the air and there are a lot of people already working with that energy, but more and more people are going to be working with that energy in the months and years to come. So allow that in by first tending to your self-care. So it's back to the body. How's the body doing? How's my mind, body, spirit? But then seeking high vibrations, like notice when you feel off. because of something you literally ingested or energetically ingested, took into your body, took into your psyche, and then seek high vibrations regularly as a remedy, something that makes you feel joy, love, peace, happiness, contentment. Those things become a little like muscles, and the more we feed them, the more we start to live in that vibration more of the time. So allow the magic and the creativity and the innovation to come into your life more regularly now by making sure that this part of you is as open and receptive as it can be to that. So that is the energy update for March 2021. Thank you for tuning in. In a couple of minutes, we will play you a clip, and we have a video for Activate Your Self-Love. It's an energy alchemy meditation. I create those. They're channeled meditations. And Activate Your Self-Love felt very important because self-love and self-care go like that. So I felt like this was the month to create that along with Davor Bozik, my musical partner. And there is sound healing music, and there is a guided meditation to really drop you into and activate your self-love. If you're in my Portal members community, you will get that as part of your membership this month. And you will also get an exclusive recording called Raise Your Awareness and Shift Your Patterns. The Portal is my members community where we have a whole host of support tools, including my monthly live energy tune-up broadcast, which is 90 minutes long. So if you want to check that out, try it for a month, see if it works for you, theportal.world, or you can find it at my website. And excitingly for this month, we have a special event, something we've never done before. In these times of us not being out in the world like we normally would be doing our weekend events, we're doing a special online weekend getaway event. It's called Weekend with Lee and the Z's because I will be channeling a lot that weekend. And at the moment, I can't tell you what it's going to be about because I want to completely respond to those of you who choose to be there for the weekend. It's taking place in time for the solstice on the 21st and 22nd. We will put the links to Weekend with Lee and the Z's underneath this video, but I'm also going to do a free channel for those of you who want to experience my channeling. On March 10th, I'm going to do a special broadcast from the Z's. All you need to do is sign up and we will send you the link. And if you can't make it live, you will get the replay, but you can sign up for that at the link underneath this video for free broadcast. That will take place on March 10th. And last but not least, thank you to all of you who have shared the love around our Awaken music album. Davor and I created a sound healing album. It's songs plus sound healing, and it's all tuned to 528 Hertz. If you haven't heard it, you can stream it, download it, or get a CD or a vinyl at awakenalbum.com. Thanks for the love you've shared, and take care everybody. Until next month, here is the excerpt from Activate Your Self-Love.
Self-care is not a luxury. Self-love is not a saying. Self-love and self-care are ways of being. Ways you can practice any moment now. So come to the present for a moment, not the past, where you might be judging yourself for all the times you didn't love yourself, care for yourself. Come to the present, where your ability to practice and be with self-love and self-care is new, is possible, is open. You are here to learn to love yourself. You are here to learn to love others. And for most listening, loving others will have been an easier journey than loving self. For some listening, loving self will have been an easier journey than loving others. And yet care and love is the same energy wherever you are applying it, whomever you are offering it to, yourself or others.